It is a great satisfaction to greet you again. I hope you and your pet are well. Today we will talk about the following. Should you feed a dog after it vomits? The short answer is no, whether it is an emergency situation or not. 1. Emergency cases of vomiting in dogs. Your dog is very young or old, or has a health problem that could make him especially vulnerable to dehydration, inadequate nutrition, and other effects of vomiting. Your dog has vomited at least 3 times in 24 hours. Your dog is trying to vomit but nothing comes out. There is blood in your dog's vomit. Your dog appears weak, disoriented, or in pain. Your dog has severe diarrhea or other worrisome symptoms in addition to vomiting. 2. Mild cases of vomiting in dogs. On the other hand, if your otherwise healthy adult dog has just thrown up once or twice and seems to be feeling pretty good, it's possible that he ate something unusual or has a mild case of gastroenteritis and is feeling better soon. You don't need to rush to the vet in this case, but the first step in treating mild vomiting in a healthy adult dog is to stop feeding it. Putting food on an upset stomach is irritating and increases the likelihood that vomiting will continue. Take your dog's food away for 12 to 24 hours and give him no treats or table scraps. Leave water out for your dog to drink, but if he tends to fill up, keep the water level low to encourage him to drink small amounts frequently. However, there are some dogs that should never go without food. Young puppies can become hypoglycemic if they don't eat often enough. Dogs receiving insulin for diabetes or having tumors in the pancreas, insulinomas, are also at high risk of hypoglycemia if they do not eat regularly. Call your vet for advice before withholding food from any unhealthy dog that is at least 1 year old. 3. How to feed your dog after fasting. After the fasting period, if applicable, you can use food as a treatment if your dog's vomiting is acute and mild. Acute vomiting begins suddenly and does not last more than a few days. Food poisoning or stomach viruses like norovirus are common examples of acute vomiting in people. Mild vomiting does not significantly affect a dog's general well-being, nor does it occur more than 2 or 3 times in 24 hours. If you didn't know your dog vomited, you may not think something is wrong. So, your dog has mild, acute vomiting, and you've withheld food for 12 to 24 hours. Now what should you do? He begins to reintroduce food gradually. Think about how you might start eating after you've been throwing up. You wouldn't order a pizza right away, you'd probably start with toast or a few crackers and see how it goes. You should do something similar for your dog. Begin by offering your dog a small amount of bland food that is easy to digest. Your options are homemade food, and mix the following: white meat boiled chicken without skin and bones, or lean meat for hamburgers. Cooked white rice or boiled and mashed potatoes. While these recipes are not nutritionally complete and balanced for long-term feeding, they are safe for dogs to eat for a few days. 4. Your dog's usual food. If your dog is on a special diet or you just can't get hold of a highly digestible dog food, slowly start your dog back to his usual diet. Wet foods are often a better option than kibble, at least in the short term. Wet foods tend to be more digestible than dry foods, and the extra water will help keep your dog hydrated. How much to feed your dog each day after vomiting? How you start feeding your dog again is just as important as what you feed them. This feeding guide will help you gradually return to a normal diet for a dog that has been vomiting. Day 1. Fast, healthy adults only, for 12 to 24 hours. If there is no vomiting at that time, you can go to Day 2. Day 2. Offer your dog 10% of the normal size of his food. Wait a few hours. If your dog hasn't vomited, offer him 25% of his normal size of food. Wait a few hours. If your dog hasn't vomited, offer him another 25% of his normal size food. Wait a few hours. If your dog hasn't vomited, offer him 50% of his normal size of food. Day 3. Offer your dog 50% of his normal size food. Wait a few hours. If your dog hasn't vomited, offer him another 50% of his normal size of food. Wait a few hours. If your dog hasn't vomited, offer him a normal meal. Day 4. Feed your dog his normal amount of food divided into 3 meals evenly spaced throughout the day. Call your vet if at any point during this process your dog begins to vomit again, won't eat, or his symptoms worsen. It is a pleasure to inform you and help you. If you have not subscribed to the channel, you should do it now. Take care of yourself and your furry friend. A hug, and until the next video.